some crazy things are happening in real estate. So fintech has a various segments within fintech, financial technology. You have insurtech, you've got HR tech, which is kind of fintech because it's finance, usually that part of the business. And you also have real estate tech. And real estate tech section of fintech has been having a really, really bad time of it. And I found this over the weekend, and this really I found kind of shocking. So real estate, we talked about, is at a standstill. Why? I won't give you the whole story from last week's podcast, but you can go look it up. But here's what's happening. Because the inventory is low, those sellers are reluctant to drop the price of their house. And there's not a line at the door of buyers coming to maybe bid it down or bid it up. Those buyers seeing 6.5%, 6.75% mortgage rates for even people with 700 credit for a conforming mortgage, those people are backing off and saying, well, I really can't afford, I mean, the house price is up and I can't afford, that's the size house I need or I want for my family. I'm just gonna lease or rent another year or stay in my townhouse or my condo. So those people, buyers aren't coming to market, sellers aren't finding buyers, sellers are less willing to put their house on the market right now with what's going on. Guess what? You have a stalled real estate market where new mortgages are down 70, 80%. Pick a market across the USA, down 70, 80% from a year ago. Well, guess what? Real estate is not just condos, apartments, houses for you and me. It's also commercial real estate, which is broken into 3 sections. Tier 1 office buildings, usually in core central cities. Tier 2 and Tier 3 office buildings located everywhere, like the doctor and the dentist you went to is probably a Tier 3 office building. And then warehouse space and industrial, warehouse industrial. So that's a high simplification of commercial real estate. And I know someone's going to put something in the chat, and go ahead and do that if you've got a wider explanation you think will help people. But I'm just saying, just to start the conversation, let's just look at it that way. Warehouse and industrial, and then big, shiny Tier 1 offices, and then Tier 2 and Tier 3 spread around town. Insurance agents, dentists, small medical practice, etc. Well, there's a number of companies that have been out there on real estate tech within the financial tech. And these are valuations. Check this out. Sonder, down 97% of the past year. WeWork, don't even want to talk about WeWork. That was a market crash and they're down 96%. They're trying to come back. So we'll just set that aside and say, oh, you know, WeWork had its own drama. You know, you had a guy there that was almost about to be SBF or Elizabeth Holmes, but somehow, you know, doesn't get sued by his investors despite what was going on. I think he was just maybe just a smart guy, but didn't run the company very well, but he didn't commit any fraud, we think, so far, I guess. But Open Door, down 86%. Compass comes up like a rocket, 2019, 2020, 2021, coming up like a rocket. We're gonna do things different for realtors, doing a really good job. Glossy branding. They're off 86% in valuation over the course of a year. Wow. Blend, 96% off. OfferPad, 94, Latch, 93. What this says, ladies and gentlemen, some of these companies may not be around. We're talking about a 96% drop in valuations. Now that may be holding court and aligning itself with the real estate market, and it's going to come back. But that's pretty crazy stuff. And a lot of these companies still have money in the bank. And so the money in the bank is going to help them get through, you know, this economic cycle. But it just shows you, it's not just the housing market we're talking about. It's real estate market. And we saw last week, we talked a little bit about, and on the PBD podcast, Patrick was talking about this amazing building that's on California Street in San Francisco, a highly desirable commercial address. It was a $300 million building. They're expecting offers in the $60 to $80 million range. Hello? You know, 60 on 300, That's exactly 20%. That would be an 80% whoomp. And we were looking at some, 86 for Open Door, 86 for Compass. There you go. So there you have ratification in other parts of the sector that says valuation for companies and large properties, whew, things are happening. So that's where it is. And so what does it mean? Check this out. That means if you're a small business and you absolutely need commercial real estate, there may be opportunities in your town for you to find the real estate you need at a really favorable rate. I would not go 10 years. I would also get favorable terms because they're going to be more amenable to work with you now. Maybe try to get a 5-year or a 3+2. Have an option in there and tell them, say, look, I'm looking at a lot of places. All I need is parking, safe location, access to, food and eateries and conveniences so that my people at lunch can go get the things they need. But this is what I'm willing to do. Be opportunistic, very opportunistic, and be smart. And talk to people saying, look, I'd like a 10-year relationship with you, but I'm a smaller company. All I can afford to do here is a 5-year obligation. But this is all I'm able to pay. And if they've had that, if the paint is getting faded on that sign at the curb that says, talk to Tyler, about office space here, CBRE, and the paint's looking faded, that sign's probably been there for a while. And you could probably find some real opportunities here. And by the way, that's good for the landlord that finds someone like you, and it's good for you to find a highly beneficial opportunity in commercial real estate for your small business. So this is also an opportunity not to be shy and to take care of your business, perhaps by actually lowering, your lease costs and taking advantage of the environment that we have right now.